Hi and welcome back to another VeggieRx virtual lesson. My name is Nina Campbell and today I'm going to be your instructor. Today we are going to be talking about various ways and tips on how we can find healthy alternatives to those foods that we really like, to those healthy foods that we really enjoy, without having to walk away from our weekly or monthly budget. Right? It is acknowledged that eating on a budget can be sometimes challenging or even overwhelming, but with some planning ahead of time, it is completely doable and completely attainable. So, before we dive into our topic, I would like to share with you what are some of the takeaways you're going to walk away with by the end of this session. So by the end of the session, you are going to be able to adopt new shopping habits. You're going to adopt new shopping habits that can allow you to eat healthy on a budget. We are going to be able to walk away with tips on how to prepare yourself before walking to the grocery store. You are going to walk away with tips on how to shop intentionally and some really good tips on how to store and preserve your fruits and vegetables once they are put away. We're also going to touch upon some of the challenges that keep healthy food, at a really high cost, and we're going to be examining briefly a case study that was conducted in 2011 that proves that junk food is not necessarily cheaper than healthy foods. We're going to be making that comparison in price, and the findings are going to be are pretty amazing. So before we talk about the importance of keeping in mind all the tips in order to shop healthy foods on a budget, is to actually talk about the importance of building a pantry, the importance of building the basics, right? So to start, it is important to acknowledge that building a pantry not only helps us adding that depth of flavor and adding those nutritional values to our foods, but they actually over time allows us to cook various meals, various dishes that actually turn into pretty amazing leftovers, right? So when shopping, it's important to keep under consideration these categories, important to add your vegetables and fruits in your cart. Keep in mind that protein doesn't necessarily always comes from meat products, that you can substitute or have a meatless meal, relying on protein which source comes from lentils or tofu or fish or even eggs and beans, right? And our grains, making sure that our grains are 100% whole grains, that none of the vitamins, none of the minerals, and none of the nutrients have been stripped away in the process of refining the whole grains. Okay, making sure we include those we include 100% whole wheat pasta, brown rice, quinoa, among other really good whole grains. Also with frozen fruits and vegetables, they're a great addition to our soups, they're a great addition to our smoothies and breakfast bowls. Nuts, seeds, and dried fruits. Nut seeds are an amazing source of healthy fats, and dried fruits, they're just an amazing topping for salads and also for our breakfast. Oils such as olive oil is such a nice light oil to cook with. You don't need much. A little goes a long way, and so goes for other oils such as canola oil, avocado oil, and grapeseed oil, which are pretty high, which your heat resistance is pretty high. So it's a great oil to cook with as well. And in terms of vinegar, such as white vinegar or red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, condiment and seasonings, really add another depth of layer to our to our foods. Okay, so it's important to take under consideration the importance of shopping under these categories to make sure that over time we are building a solid and strong pantry, a strong, healthy pantry. So before we walk into a store, one of the checklists I have here is to plan our meals. It is really important that we plan our meals because by planning our meals, doing that meal planning, we're able to be specific about the items, about the produce that we need for that week, and that way we're not walking away, or we're not detouring from our initial budget plan, right? Also, to check the fridge and pantry to make sure we're not overbuying produce. Another good tip is to make a list. Make a list to make sure we are meeting every single ingredient that we need for our meals, our planned meal, and to make sure we're not overbuying anything. And another good tip is to never go grocery shopping while we're hungry. That's not a good idea because usually candies, some processed foods can become more tempting than usual when we're hungry. And another good checklist is to plant your own foods from scratch. Plant your own fruits and vegetables, and that way you also are contributing to cut some of the grocery from your list. And doing our shopping checklist, if we are shopping with kids, I think it's very important to delegate jobs to the children so we can keep them occupied, and that way items that you have not foreseen buying don't appear into your cart. It's important to also know that the middle aisles is where most of the processed foods live. So if we stay away from these aisles, we will most likely will not end up buying any of the unnecessary foods that we have not planned to buy. Also, avoiding the beverage aisle, it's another good tip for preventing the overpurchase of groceries. And if you really need to buy that favorite beverage that you have, try buying one, and when you go home, just dilute it with some water, so next week when you go to the store again, you don't have to buy as many bottles. And also read the labels and compare the prices. See which item, which option gives you the best deal, which one gives you the most quantity for the best price. And last but not least, don't be afraid of the bulk aisle. In that aisle, you're going to be able to save a lot of money by buying on bulk, because usually prepackaged foods have the tendency of being more expensive due to the package. And once we're done with our shopping and we are ready to head home and put everything away, keep in mind that produce that are more delicate should be placed in the front of your compartments of your fridge, so that way they are within your sight and you know that you have to use those produce before you use the other ones that are not so prone to go bad as quickly. And always find ways to use your leftovers. Find ways to incorporate that quinoa that you cooked the night before into a nice salad, or try to make it into a patty, or try to make soups and stocks with your vegetable scraps and your trimmings and the leftover bones from your chicken. If you're purchasing chicken, make sure you purchase the whole bird, so that way you can roast the entire chicken or the entire bird, eat all parts of the chicken, eat the breast and the drumsticks, and lastly use the bones for a nice broth or a nice stock with vegetables. Okay, and now let's talk about a little bit about the challenge that are keeping the cost of food really high. Some of these challenges lie under trendy healthy foods such as exotic nut powders and this very exotic smoothies or juices that we see at the grocery store that usually are enhanced with some type of herb or spices, and because of the health benefits that they contribute to our body, the prices that they're sold at are prices that are outrageous. And what we can do instead is just to purchase the ingredients, purchase the fruits and the vegetables, and then just recreate the same product at home. Now with transportation, the cost of transportation to get food can be another challenge of why foods are so costly. Many people don't have supermarkets that are near their neighborhoods. Therefore, they will be more prone to having liquor stores, convenience stores, as well as fast food restaurants. So the cost of getting around in public transportation, the cost of driving long distances in order to get certain fresh fruits and vegetables, it's another addition to the challenge. And also the time spent planning and cooking. It's acknowledged that not everybody knows how to cook, but with some dedication and searching and learning and how to cook through online videos, the basics can be learned easily, and in no time you'll be preparing very healthful meals to your loved ones. So lastly, let's talk about this case study. This case study was performed in a family of 4. A New York Times article compared the cost of living of a family of 4 with McDonald's and with a home cooked meal, and it was and the findings show that the many items bought at McDonald's, such as the Big Macs and the cheeseburgers, the 6 chicken nuggets, some fries, and some drinks, came up for the total of $28, compared to roasted chicken with vegetables and a simple salad was $14, and so was for rice and canned beans with bacon, green beans, green peppers, and onions for a cost of $9. So what is this showing us? It's showing us that it's just about applying the right mindset, applying the right tips to our grocery shopping choices. Once we are able to apply these tips and resources that I shared with you today, in no time you will be able to write your grocery list with your budget without having to walk away from your favorite products. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Enjoy your vouchers, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.